What's up, locals? We are here today looking at the Putt Confidently Champ Cap. This is local. We are local. My name is Ryan, and I'm joined today by my good friend, Alex Penny. Alex, why don't you just tell us a quick little rundown of your disc golf experience and where you're at right now?
Absolutely, yeah. My name is Alex Penny. I'm based out of Calgary, Alberta with Ryan here, and I am part of the Okanagan Disc Golf Pro Team, as well as the Lone Star Discs Ranger Team for the 2023 season. So that's super exciting. Great opportunity to continue to support the community and continue to grow local.
Absolutely, love it. Today we've got the home edition here. There are three different ones. There's the home edition, the course edition, and the XL.
That's correct, yeah.
So the XL and home edition give you 4 different target sizes. On the home edition, we've got a 10-inch, 11-inch, 12-inch, and 13-inch, which really opens up the potential for your practice. And you can really shape your practice the way you want with those different hole sizes. And you've had a cap for how long now?
I've had it about a month now, and it's been a great tool to use at home, especially with some of the cold weather, some of the snow we've seen here in Calgary. So it's great to practice at home and then see that out on the course as well.
I guess in your experiences so far, what are the specifics of what you've enjoyed about the Putt Confidently home or Champ Cap?
Yeah, so what I've really enjoyed about it is day to day. When I was out playing on the course, I found I was missing high right, a little bit of low left. This is a great opportunity to focus on hitting the center of the chains.
Totally.
And then from there, it's putting that into application on the course, as well as just removing the putt confidently after a good round of practice and seeing how that looks looking at the basket itself.
100%. I am notoriously bad for putting just above the rim, and this is forcing me to correct that. And I find I obviously started with when I got mine, I started with the largest target, had a bit of fun, and thought, okay, well, let's go to the absolute smallest and let's see what I've got here. And it quickly put me in my place with missing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, especially, some of the discs that I try putting with, just having some fun with, they are almost the exact same size as the smallest target. So they don't quite fit in there. So it's, a good challenge, really focuses you to be right on point.
This is not a tool that you can tire of, I don't think either, because I know initially I was on the widest target, and after maybe a week or so of it, I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna hone in and start to shorten this up a little bit and go to the 12. But if I'm going further away from the basket, I can go back to that largest target. Or if I'm working on stuff, 15, I love a 15-foot practice with that smallest target because it's really forcing me to focus on my release point and keeping it straight out of hand.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I find I'm using every day. And, as I work to a farther distance away, it's easy to adjust to what size opening you want to go with and really focus, like you said, on that release point, as well as, where you're aiming at on the basket, whether it's picking that link or picking the center of the pole, whatever it may be.
So talking about what we like so far, I mean, it demands accuracy, and I think that's the biggest part of this. In my experiences so far, I haven't really been taking it off and putting without it. Alex, you have though, and what's that experience been like, and also what's your routine like when you are putting with it?
Absolutely, that's a great question, Ryan. My routine when I putt with it is I will start from 10 feet, 10, 15 feet with the largest diameter, do a series of putts, work my way back, work to some smaller target sizes. I use an app to track everything.
Okay.
So it's great to use. It's called Just Putt. It's a free app, so something that's a great tool to be able to track my consistency, if I'm getting better or more consistent at a target distance for me. Taking it off, it's been excellent. What I'll do is do my series of putts, take it off at the end, run those putts, and see where I'm hitting on the chains. One of the things with the Champ Cap is you're not on a course normally used to looking at a circle target.
Exactly.
So using the basket and taking that cover off is great just to get your mind back into the course kind of mentality and what you're going to see when you're out there playing.
Absolutely. I think I couldn't agree more. That if there's one negative to this cap, it's just the visual. It's just that I'm not looking at what I'm used to looking at on the course. The fabric is phenomenal. It's super durable. I've been putting on this for, as I say, a couple months now, and there's absolutely no wear showing on it so far. It's really interesting also to just chat with someone else that's using one, because I think everyone uses them in different ways. And for me, not taking it off, and I've only putted with it, what I've done is I would sit with a particular target, for a few days, where Alex is, I think, switching targets regularly during your practice. And what's that? You've been doing that?
That's right. Yeah, I've been switching it regularly throughout my practice. So like I said, I'll start from a set distance away, rotate through the sizes, work my way back, and keep rotating through. Just that way I don't get comfortable to that visual look.
Totally.
And then at the end of the practice, taking the champ cap off and putting with the basket itself, just to get used to what I'm going to see on the course. And looking at the Putt Confidently website, one of the things they mentioned is consistent users save about 2 strokes a round. I found a couple rounds I've been out, I've been a little bit more consistent with my putting, hitting some of those longer putts, and really hitting the center of the chains, which is, always my goal.
Totally. I love that too. When I'm out, after looking at this, now I talked about the visual of it on there, but when you're out on the course after this, part of me is still seeing that ring to some extent, which is what I'm now focusing on. Because when you look at the basket and you're out putting, you're looking at this large target, and sometimes, I know that there's those disc dots and different things out to try to get your eyes to focus on a specific spot. And I would say this is kind of doing the same thing. Now, obviously, that dot is very specific, but when I look at a basket without the Putt Confidently cap, now I find myself almost seeing that ring on there without it. And obviously, I'm looking at a basket that looks significantly larger than the targets that I've been working on. So I would agree. I think that it's been extremely helpful so far. I really think they're onto something here.
They are, absolutely. And I would agree, Ryan, looking at this as a putting league tool for someone who maybe wants a marksman basket but doesn't want to invest in a second basket, this is a great tool to do something very similar. That's a lower cost alternative, as well as it's something that's removable and just very easy to travel around with you. So even going out to a tournament, going out to a fun event with some friends, you can bring this along and set it up with your basket, and away you go. Have some fun.
One of the other things that I really liked in Putt Confidently, after chatting with them, recommended was essentially having this target not far off from the view that you have right now, where you're actually looking at the middle section here, and you've got your targets to the side. So now obviously we're focusing on trying to putt at this directly, and normally I would stand in a line of sight that I'm looking directly straight at the center so I can see the pole, the target's right in front of me. But it's a great activity to stand back a little bit and actually force yourself to putt sort of in on like a 45-degree angle, and actually work on your hyzer putt as well. I think there's I like to use the largest target for that because that's a weakness in my game currently, but I love the versatility where it wasn't even a thought to me initially, and the owner of Putt Confidently, after chatting with him, said, this is a fun tool to use for, forcing yourself to play other angles and things like that as well. And I've really enjoyed that. It's a huge weakness in my game, and to force myself to actually try to dump in on a side shot, because if you've got, whether it's wind or the terrain around you forces you to play something where you're not like lasering it at the basket, but you're actually having to kind of come in, whether you've got something in the way, an obstacle, and you've got to try to come in on an angle, or you're just trying to play something soft because there's hazards beyond the basket and you don't want to go there. There's a lot of chances to alter the angles if you want to play a different kind of shot.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Ryan, and something that's definitely a great tool. I mean, one of the things I try to focus on when I'm putting is, consistency of how I putt, but also preparing for those situations where you might have a bush in your way or you might have an obstacle. So working on those hyzer putts, or, just working on a straddle putt, maybe a little forehand putt, is something that's great to, kind of take into consideration when using this tool.
Yeah, and I think, as we're, at home, whether you're in your backyard or in your basement or garage, I think it's really important in your putting practice to force yourself to be uncomfortable.
That's right.
It's so easy to stand on flat and level ground at 15, 20, 25 feet, but you get out for that next round, and my first thought is always, oh my gosh, the ground's uneven now. And like that, all that practice I was doing, I wasn't in a course situation. So, to force yourself to one knee, to try to have to play something around, or to have to, make yourself uncomfortable during your putting practice to try to mimic the experiences you're going to have on the course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. To summarize, I think the Putt Confidently is a great tool, something that I'm definitely going to continue to use in the off season, and continue to work on coming into the spring as well. Trying to really dial it in where I'm hitting on the basket. You can check these out at okanaganDiscSupply.com. When you're on the site, make sure you use the code CDGC10 to help support the Calgary Disc Golf Club and kind of contribute back to the community.
It's so important. Obviously, that's a huge part of our channel here. This accommodates most baskets. Definitely, if you're thinking about it, I highly recommend just confirming with Putt Confidently that it fits your basket. They do have a number of baskets laid out. This is on my MVP Black Hole Pro. Your XL is on
my Latitude 64 Pro basket. So, fit some of the larger baskets out there, but like Brian said, just make sure you check it out. The information's on Putt Confidently as well, some of the retailers that sell them here in Canada.
I want to say a huge thank you to Putt Confidently for sending us one of these for review. As always, despite them sending it, we're always trying to give our most honest feedback and be as critical as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, this is Local Week.